Hi again, I'm back today with two of my drones, the Hover X1 Pro Max and the DJI Neo. And I'm going to be looking at the quick shot function, in particular the orbit function of them both, where the drone's launched and just circles around you at a predefined height and distance. If you've got the DJI Neo, it has a maximum resolution of 4K at 30 frames per second, and that drops down to 1080p at 30 frames a second if you do it in vertical mode. Now, it's only got the one color profile, so it means you are stuck with normal video. If you've got the Pro, you can do 60 frames a second at 4K, and that'll drop down to 2.7K if you do it in vertical mode. If you've got the Pro Max, you can do 8K at 30 frames a second, and that'll drop down to 4K at 60 frames a second if you're going to do it in vertical. Now, another thing you've got with the Pro and the Pro Max is that they both give you slow motion at 100 or 120 frames per second, and they also give you Hover Cine, which gives you smoother footage. Now, if you have the Pro Max, you've also got the option of recording in HDR at 10-bit HLG. Now, both drones will do the orbit feature. The Neo is going to be more limited, as it only allows one revolution clockwise at a distance of between 2 and 20 meters and a height of either low or medium. Whereas the Hover Pro and Pro Max give you 4 options of between 1.5 and 6 meters, but they also give you an elevation of low, medium and rise. Plus, you can go clockwise, anti-clockwise, and the angle of the rotation can be between 90, 180 or 3 complete revolutions. Another thing to remember, if you are using the Neo, it just does video of the 1 revolution, whereas if you're using the Pro or the Pro Max, it gives you 3 options. You can either do a video, which obviously it just does, as it says, a video. If you do photo, as it goes around, it'll take a series of photos, or it'll do video and photo where it'll rotate and take photos as well during the actual rotation. One more thing to remember is that with the Neo, you will need it to be connected to the app or the controller to make any changes to the perimeters for the orbit. Even if you're using voice control, it still needs to be connected through to the app. If you're using the Pro or the Pro Max, you can make changes to the parameters directly on the drone using the little control panel on the top. That'll allow you to change the height, the distance and the number of revolutions that you want the drone to make. Now, one thing I would recommend when doing the orbit with the drones, if you're going to do 1 revolution or more, always start with the drone behind you. This way, when it comes in the front, you're always going to get a smoother footage as it's going to go right the way around and then end at the back, so there's not going to be any jerkiness or any cuts in the middle of the footage. Okay, and that sums it up. If you did find it useful, just do the subscribe-y thing, drop us a like, and see you next time. Thanks very much.